Hello, everyone. Good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you. So, I hope you are all doing well. So, before we move into today's session, let's take a quick moment to reflect on what we discussed yesterday. So, yesterday was all about clarity. We didn't went into any technical details much. So, we spoke about how to begin your AI journey the right way, the proper roadmap to follow, and how this course is structured step by step to help you grow, even if you are starting from the basic level, like the zeroth level. So yesterday's goal was very simple to just remove the confusion, to understand the roadmap clearly and build the confidence in the right direction. So today we move from understanding what AI is to actually doing something practical. Today also it's not like we are starting with lesson one Python basics. We are going to do it like on maybe tomorrow, end of tomorrow or maybe day after. But today I'll show you like if you have a fear of like how data analysis is done on a on a particular Python IDE. So just to show you on a sample data set to make you confident that it's not very difficult. If you have any assumptions about how machine learning model would look like, data analysis would look like, I'm going to show it to you today, and I'm going to share you a document where you can even do the hands-on activity for today. So yeah, before we continue, let me quickly check how many of you are joining today for the first time. Is that all of you are from yesterday or today is the first day for anybody? You can just put new in the chat if you're joining for the first time today. Okay, I guess like all of you are here yesterday too. So, okay. So whether it's if you missed yesterday's session also, don't worry, you will be getting the recordings. So everything is in like not only today, everything in this course is structured in a way that you can easily catch up. So all right, let's begin our day one. Like yesterday was the demo. So let me quickly share my screen. So let's start with the agenda for today. First, we'll understand how real-world data science and machine learning projects actually work. So the life cycle of data science to show you like how the workflow would be. So like it's the same workflow companies follow too. And then we'll talk about different career paths and job roles, so that you know like where you fit in. And then we'll move to Python and Google Colab, like where exactly to do the Python coding so that you have a clarity like this is how like in future classes also we are going to do the coding part. And finally, like we'll discuss after discussing about Python where to do the coding, we'll do a hands-on activity like how to load a simple data set and do the data analysis and draw insights on a Google Colab. If you are hearing this word Google Colab for the first time, don't worry, like you're going to get a touch of it in couple of minutes again, like not couple of minutes, in a 20-30 minutes, you are going to do work on Google Colab. So let's start with data science life cycle. So usually the easiest way to understand the data science life cycle is to think of it like a story. Every project starts with a real problem. So company identifies the problem first, and then it understands like whether uh, we can end up with a working solution that people actually use for the problem statement. So let's see each steps here. The first step is business understanding. In the business understanding step, every data science project starts at this first step of business understanding. So which means what problem are we trying to solve, like what kind of problem. If you are in a banking sector, if they are trying to develop a system which automatically does credit card approval or automatically does the KYC approval or like any like fraud detection like defaulters, so any kind of things, if they want to do using like if you they want to get the solution using AI, first they think of the problem. If it's a healthcare, if they have patients data, based on past patients data, they want to see for the new patients if they have a disease or not by machine learning model. So first they identify the problem and then think of if there is a solution through AI. So if like our first job is to understand, is this a data problem, can machine learning help here? If this step is wrong, everything after this will also go wrong in a project. So after doing the business understanding, then comes the second step, which is data collection. So once the problem is clear, we collect the data. And trust me, like data is never clean. It usually comes from databases like MySQL, Oracle, Snowflake, like maybe the big systems like Hadoop, Databricks, some like cloud storages. So we use SQL, Python, sometimes PySpark to pull this data, and we get is what we get is raw, messy, duplicated data, like, and that's completely normal at this stage. So after identifying the problem, then collecting the data which suits the problem statement there. So the second step is data collection. After doing the data collection, the next step in the data science life cycle would be data preparation. When I say data preparation, yesterday we spoke about an example like the dates we enter are of different format. So we have to bring down everything to the same format. There would be missing values, there would be garbage values. For suppose age you are entering, we know like age is between 0 to 100. Rare cases it might go up to like 110, maybe. I'm not sure like what's the elderly person living on earth. So but if you see a age value, negative values or 500, 600, we know directly that is a garbage value. So data comes with garbage values too. So we have to find out garbage values, then think of methods like how to handle it. At this stage of data preparation, so we do remove this duplicates, handle missing values, fix formats. So if you ask any data scientist, they'll tell you this takes most of the project time. Data preparation usually takes most of the time too. And then comes after doing the data cleaning. Once you know the problem, you've done the data collection according to the problem, then you have done the data preparation. Then comes this EDA, exploratory data analysis. So it's simply understanding your data, like, clean the data. After you have a clean data, we have to understand that data. Like every day, even if you see a supermarket nearby or people normally like in our daily lives also, we do some kind of data analysis. So if supermarket does analysis like on festival seasons, they have to stock up because some kind of products sell most on festival days. So they have to arrange it beforehand. So such things comes with simple data analysis. If it's a bigger picture, if it's a big company, they have data. If they can draw insights out of that data, it would add for the business growth. So it can be any sector, like even it's a healthcare, any sector. So when you have data, if you can draw insights out of it, it would add for the business. So drawing insights, and if you can explain the data like a story, like what exactly it's talking about, then the job would be done in this part, like exploratory data analysis, getting the data insights, and also, you can present the plots for easier understanding and all at this fourth part. After doing the data analysis, drawing the insights, the next step is if you want to automate something using machine learning, then comes the model development. On this data which is cleaned, we do the model development. We have a machine learning model. We train the past data. If it's a credit card approval system, you train on the past data, and it would find patterns according to which model we are using. Like it would use the math behind, and then it would find patterns for the new data coming, for the new customers who are applying for that particular bank. So the model would decide if that customer has to be given a credit card or not based on what are the important features we have selected, maybe depending on age, employment status, marital status, income, etc., etc. So the model would decide if that particular customer would be eligible for credit card approval or not. At this stage, model development happens. So it's not like again 1 day jobs. Everything takes sometimes 6 months. The process would takes time here. So after doing the model development, then it's like model validation to know like if it's a good model, yeah, bad model. If it's working on the test cases correctly. So we do this model validation. Then if the model validation fails, then we go back to the steps. We come back sometimes from, we have to start back from data collection. Maybe some important data is missing, we have to get back the data. So sometimes we do all the 4 steps again to improve the model. So it's like that's the reason it's shown like a cycle here. So after doing the model validation, next steps in the data science life cycle would be model deployment. So the model deployment usually handled with a very separate team, machine learning engineers. So they handle the model deployment. They take care of the model, like they put it in the production, like for the customers to use it. So model deployment, again, yeah, business understanding, the cycle continues. So once we understand like what are the different roles, like what are the different tasks involved in the data science life cycle, we can now understand four different roles directly on this slide. Like when you have a business understanding step, so usually this is, okay, let me just change the color here. Usually this step is handled by business analysts. So the data collection, sometimes we have a separate data engineer team who handles this step here, the data collection part. So they do get the data from the cloud storages and they collect the data accordingly, because data engineering, it's a complete separate team. Like, we have to get the data. Sometimes it's in different schemas. We have to get all the data to one place. Then doing the data preparation job, we have a team of data analyst who does this data preparation and exploratory data analysis. And then comes the data scientist who builds the model and does the model validation. So fifth step and sixth step, we have data scientists who do the model development, machine learning modeling, or even the deep learning, like they do the model development. And the model deployment is handled by machine learning engineers. So usually, like to complete a simple one single project, it's between 4 to 5 different teams, and they all work very closely. And if it's a smaller company, sometimes the tasks are merged. Like, you don't have a separate data analyst. So the data scientist has to do the data analysis too, and the machine learning engineering work. Some part of it may be handled by data scientists. You have to see the job description, but usually the deployment is taken care of using separate team here. So, but all of this will work very closely with each other, and everybody would have knowledge about what the other team is doing here. So we have business analysts, data engineers who collects the data, like data analyst who prepares the data and draw insights out of it, data scientist who build the model, who do the model evaluation, who improves the model ability to like correctly detect the spam, not spam email for suppose, and the machine learning engineers who take care of the deployment. So these are few roles we have discussed here. Not only that, like right now we have so many roles, like different career opportunities, like for data analyst and research analyst, sometimes used like synonyms. So AI consultant is someone who talks about like business and try to give in not completely technical solutions, like the solutions. He'll be having knowledge of AI, and he'll be, most of his work would be like communicating. AI consultant. And then coming to data science, so you have data scientist, machine learning engineer, and this NLP engineering, usually, like we had spoken about this yesterday also. So usually NLP engineer directly applying for this position, it's rarely there for freshers. As a data scientist, you join a company, like work 3 4 years, and then if you have expertise or if the projects are related to NLP, so NLP is natural language processing, any projects related to text data, then it's uh, here at this juncture, like they'll be promoted to NLP engineer. There is something called computer vision engineer. So who handles completely the image data, like image recognition and all. So computer vision engineering also, like they join like data scientist, and with expertise depending on the projects, they promote for computer vision engineers there. And AI engineer is like a software role, like where data science, AI, and software engineering combination kind of role this is. So where heavy coding is required at this state, AI engineers. If you already have experience as a developer and you have good knowledge of software developing and all, it's when you start learning AI, you include AI to your software skills. So you become an AI engineer where heavy coding is required. MLOps engineer is something where the deployment. So you can, if someone's working in DevOps from long time, if they learn machine learning, so DevOps plus machine learning combination, they'll be eligible for this roles of MLOps as an MLOps engineer here. So again, this things, the job uh, career roles kind of interchangeably used. So we have to always look for the job description, like what exactly that company is looking for. And Gen AI engineer, they handle like LLMs, RAG agents. So agent building for a like all the companies, MNCs are looking forward to build their own agents there. Prompt engineering, this is like, highly debatable topic. Like you see YouTube videos, thumbnails saying like, learn how to do the prompting and you'll be getting like 40, 50 lakhs of salary. I cannot promise that, but prompt engineering might become in 2, 3 years or coming years as a role where, as if it's mandatory for everybody to know this prompt engineering, as if like doing the Google search. Prompt engineering might become a role which is important for everybody. So prompt engineering, and then also like this prompt engineering roles were not there 3 to 4 years back. Right now we kind of see this prompt engineering roles because when you're using an AI tool, you give prompts to get correct answer. Each prompt cost money there. So if you are working for a company and you want to handle a project, and the prompts, like if you are able to give the prompts in a right way, so you'll be getting the good. It's like how good your prompt is, the output depends on it. You would have experience if you are using GPT like for everyday task also. If your prompt is clear, the output depends on how well you give a prompt to it. So if you are first time hearing the word prompt is nothing but like the text we give it for the AI models to get the answers from it. We call them like prompts here. So good prompts gives good results. And then we have AI's research scientist and applied scientist role. So these roles are like little academical roles. So for someone who's applying like the ML models, they want to develop completely technically new machine learning model. They want to do the PhDs, masters. So these roles are completely technical academic roles here. Not only this, there are many different roles. You can like let me share a different screen here. So even in Naukri, you just type the roles here, you would see. It's a little slow internet today. Okay, I just got it. So, a junior scientist in Cognizant, 6 to 8 years. So, you can just type in, like, you can check the job descriptions here, and then so you see like Gen AI and data scientist. The role names itself like data scientist, artificial intelligence. So, then so you can even look at like there's a lot of like job opportunities available on it. So it's again like not overnight. So you have to minimum 3 to 4 months of dedication. You have to put in to understand all this machine learning models, deep learning, generative AI to get to that point every day 1 hour. If you do it for 4 months, you'd be understanding all this models evaluation. You'd be understanding this, like the whole project you'll be able to handle. So yeah, you can go through this. What I've done from this Naukri website is there is this salary thing here. So we cannot give a definite salary, obviously. From this salaries which are available from Naukri, I've just created a histogram. So I've created a plot just to show you the salary ranges. So if I can show you here. So I got this data from here, the salary section here. So 0 to 3, like 155, 1514. So we just see that like the salary range and the number of jobs available. So obviously, the higher range there would be very less count in the this is like Naukri data again. So the average salary is like 6 to 10, 10 to 15. Like we cannot definitely talk about salaries, but yeah. So if you would have heard about it already, but AI salaries are very attractive compared, it's very comparable to other fields. Like again, yeah, with 5 to 6 years of experience, there is a high chance like in companies you're going to get good packages of 25 to 30. Depends on your skills again. So let's not discuss more on salary because it's individual, depends on individual skill set again. So yeah, after this, so if you are able to learn from this course, I can definitely say you can apply for this roles. If you this AI consultant, AI engineer, ML ops, this kind of roles depends on your like if you are very much interested, again you can still like learn everything and apply. Like if you have already an experience of DevOps, then you try concentrating on such fields like MLOps engineer. It's easy for you then to get a job. So if you are completely interested in new things like LLMs, agent building, so then you concentrate on like, because right now agents are new, like from maybe 1.5 year, 2 years, it's there in the market. If you're able to learn, maybe you didn't work on it, if you're able to build projects and you showcase, so there's a need of lot of AI like advanced engineers, like Gen AI engineers, because in market like there's very less people who have knowledge on all this things here. So yeah, as a fresher also, but directly only with theoretical knowledge, again it's a no. You should be building your own projects. So maybe you don't have experience prior, but you have a different experience in a different field, so you upskill and you put in projects, you showcase on GitHub like the different projects you worked on, then why not? Like you can apply jobs. Like right now, people are not very narrow-minded, like you have a different field. They are looking for multi-diverse people already, because AI field is like that too. So upskilling matters here. So these are the different career opportunities we have put in here. And the next question would be like, is there a scope of data scientist in 2026 or 20 or the coming years? What is the evidence for that? Right now, we say like AI is emerging. Maybe 10 years back, Java was emerging. So, what is the scope of data scientist in 2026? The only proof what I can talk about here is if you see the data generated in past years from 2020 till 2023, here you see like it's always exponentially increasing. There's a article saying like the amount of data generated annually has grown year over year since 2010. In fact, it is estimated that 90% of the world's data was generated in the last 2 years alone. So, in coming years, it's going to be increased exponentially here again. So, is it okay now? Yeah. So, only for this slide, the screen font is too low, right? So, this is like the data, how it is generated annually here. And sorry. So, here we can see that like coming years, it's going to be increase exponentially. That's the only evidence that, since data is going to be generated a lot, that means there's a high scope of like still for the AI engineers and all. Where's this data? So we have a scope of doing the analysis and drawing insights out of it, and the model development and all. We all know like even a simple app we are using these days, we are generating a lot of data out of it. Let me just reload it again. So, and this is about like I'll not go very much theoretical today. So if you have any questions, you can always ask in the end, or maybe after the class also. If you have any personal questions like related to your experience and how, if you have any confusion about it, you can text me directly from the WhatsApp. Like in the group, you can find my contact, so we can discuss personally too. So then there's one question I usually get is system configuration. I don't say like for learning this AI, you don't have to buy new laptops. Existing laptops would work for at least for the course. Existing laptops would work because we are going to work on Google Colab. But if you're trying to buy a new one, then the system configuration might help you. Like you can see the operating system processor. You can watch back this recording and maybe take a screenshot of it. Uh, yeah, but I don't suggest like, buying a new laptop. But obviously, to learn this, you should be joining the classes through laptop. Through mobile, it won't be much effective. So when you join through laptop, you can do the hands-on activity, like you can code alongside with me. So this is about system configuration. Then like the next question is like where to code in Python. If someone's new to programming language, if they are learning it for the first time, then where to code in Python, they cannot code everywhere. Like we cannot code it in Google. Or like we have to do the Python programming in different IDEs, integrated development environments. There are many IDEs available doing the Python programming. If you are already learned Python and install something onto your laptops, you can start working on that also. So you have Anaconda, Cursor, Jupyter, Databricks, PyCharm, all of that. But you see this Google Collaboratory here, right? So this is nothing but this is also a Python IDE where we can do the Python programming. So this Google Collaboratory is the online version of this Jupyter notebooks. Jupyter notebooks here. Jupyter is a IDE again where you can do the Python programming. So this Google Collaborative notebooks. So here it's an online version. They both look similar. Why we choose Google Collaboratory is it's very easy to work with it. Like it doesn't depend on your system configuration. It's a product of Google. If you have good internet and your Gmail ID logged in, we can work on Google Collaboratory. So we are going to use this Google Collaborator to work with on Python here. So I'll show you like how classroom lesson plans would look like. This is not the actual lesson which I'm going to today. We are going to do the like we are going to do the activity on like loading the data set and doing the data analysis. This is not the actual lesson today, but this is how a Google Collaborative would look like. So if you I can send you this link in the chat. You can open it. If you're joined through laptops, you can open this. And once like the only thing is that you should be already logged into your Gmail ID. So once you log into your Gmail ID, if you click on that link, you will be opening this Google Collaboratory. So usually how the classes would be is every day lessons would be on the Google Collaboratory. And let me just show you the lesson one of a different batch. Just a second. Let me get the lesson one. So So today is like lesson zero. We are going to do the tipped data analysis. But actual lessons of when we start with Python basics. So on Google Collaboratory, everyday lessons will have theory and activities. We can do it on the collab like this. Everything would be structured like this. In class, we are going to do the coding here. How to do it on Google Colab, I'll show you in a couple of minutes. So the lessons are planned like this. You don't have to worry about taking notes, juggling with getting confused and all. Automatically, once you enter to the class, like once I share the document, I'll give you only the view access. So what I expect is that you go to the share option. Like I'll be giving only the viewer access. I don't give you the edit access because with Google Collaborately, collaborate like with Google Collabs, like multiple people can work on the same collab. Like if you are updating the codes, I'm updating the codes, everything gets updated in this sheet. So you see this file option here, right? So So I have already shared the curriculum here, right? So if you're learning the OOPS would take like 4 to 5 days to learn, but I've observed like, it's not mandatory for data scientists to learn the OOPS concept here. But yeah, so if you already know it, it's okay. It's good for you. But again, in the curriculum, you check it like everything, whatever we learn here is put in on the curriculum I've sent. I didn't send it in the group, but even on the Isha website, you can see the curriculum there. So yeah, let's come back to this Google Colab. So you see this file section here, right? You go to this file section here on the top left. So once you click on this file, you see an option like save a copy in Drive. So whenever you click a save a copy in Drive, a copy of yours gets created on your Google Drive. Automatically, your copy gets created. So on that particular copy, you would be able to work on it. So you can edit the codes, you can save it. So just by controllers, you can save it. So in class, I'll be updating the codes in the class document. So automatically it will be saved. You can make a copy and you can just change the name of it here. Like maybe you can change it to lesson one class copy. You can add something for you, like for you to recognize it. So every day's lesson number, date, year, everything would be clear here so that you don't have to keep searching for it. So it would be saved directly onto the drive with whichever like Gmail ID you have logged in. So it's easy to use. So if you did try to open this already, so there's very rare cases like you will be getting this notebook loading error. If someone's getting notebook loading no, loading error, understand that it's a very common error. Usually, you just have to clear up the history or cache and then log in again, or you try in incognito mode. So that's a very common error, but usually like 10% like chance of getting error. But trust me, only Gmail ID and internet is what you need to work on the Google Collab. So you can click on it and try to open this. You'll be seeing this document similarly for yourself. So you go to File, click on Save a Copy in Drive. Your copy gets created. So this is the introduction of Google Colab. So once this step is done, every day the same step repeats. Lesson one for that particular day, lesson one document would be saved. You create a copy and work on it. Lesson 2, lesson 3, likewise, 80 lessons. You have 80 different copies specifically designed for each lesson plan there. So that is easy for keeping easy to concentrate. So that since we have 1 hour every day strictly, I completely understand most of you are working professionals. So I don't want you to get confused by all these files, uh, like taking up the notes theory and all. So you can practice on it. So this Google Collaboratory, one more beauty about it is you can do the texting and coding both in it. If I want to do the texting, you hover the mouse to the center of the screen. You see plus code and plus text. If you click on plus text, you get a text cell. So I can just write in here like first Python lesson. So it's a texting part. And you want to get the code cell, you can click on this plus code here. You will be getting a code cell where you see this play button kind of thing, right? You can write 6 plus 10 and run it. So Python is very beginner friendly programming language where 6 plus 10 is actually code for doing the addition here. If you want to get the same output in different programming languages like Java or C language, you have to write 5 to 6 lines of code. So first time it's connecting to the Google servers. It's like, we are taking the servers for loan from Google. So it's connected to the Google servers here. We got the output. But it's from the next time, it's simple to use. So like when you write 6 plus 10, it's your first code in Python already on the Google Colab. Even you can get this plus code and plus text from the leftmost screen on here also. You can click, but usually we kind of get used to this hovering because it's easy. Like you're somewhere, like you don't have to go till here. You just hover the mouse. You'll get in the center of the screen, press code and place text. So you can load here. So again, so today, like again, not going into Python basics, you are going to start with very basic, like again, we are going to start with addition, subtraction, everything like very basic. What is this called? Like how to, what are the variable and data types? We'll start from zero level. But my agenda for today is to show you like how a data analysis is done, how you can feel the outcome I expect is that you should feel like it's doable. If you feel it's difficult, then yeah, we'll discuss on it. So loading required modules. So what are modules? Why we have to load it? There, like we'll learn it like in 11th or 12th lesson. But here, these are the modules which you have to load to use some functions like ready-made functions out of Python. So I'm loading Panda, Seaborn, Matplotlib. Yesterday we said like we are going to do data visualization, learn data visualization and data analysis, right? When I say we are learning a library, so first to use that library, we have to import it. So this is the syntax, like import pandas, and we are giving some nickname for it as PDSNS. So Seaborn and Matplotlib are the modules we used for data visualization. They help us in creating plots. So it's like here itself, I'll give you an overview. Like there are a lot of ready-made functions in Python. So ready-made functions in the sense they help us like each function will have a specific task to do. Like we have different machines, like ATM machine task is to give you money. There's a mixer grinder task is to do the juicing or grinding something. Likewise, each function, if it's a print function, simple print function task is to print whatever we write it inside it. If there is a function called add, the function, the task of this function is to do the addition there. So these functions, to organize them neatly in the backend, there are thousands of functions. So there's this libraries created. So each library, again, you can call it like library or a module. So each library specific functions are stored in libraries for easier use. So pandas have all the functions related for data analysis. Seaborn and Matplotlib have all the functions for creating plots, visualization plots. So they are organized in libraries like this. So these are to use them, we have to import it and then use it. So importing, this is a syntax. And loading the data set, there are different ways of loading. We are going to learn it, how to load it. But the easiest one which we are taking today is, so we'll learn how to load a data set from external sources. If a file is downloaded onto your system, how to load it and use it. We'll discuss on that. But today we are taking the data set from this Seaborn. So by default in Seaborn, there are few data sets for practice. So from the Seaborn, I'm using this load data set readymade function to load the dataset tips here. So there are 10 to 15 datasets readily available for practice here. I'm just loading. Don't worry about like if you don't understand how to load and all. Like right now, the steps think of it like a black box. So we just got the dataset here. Even in the Google Collaboratory environment, if you see it here, sample data, there are few datasets for practice. So there are two different datasets already for practice here also in the Google Colab. So even the other way of getting it in real time for practice is to this Kaggle, even the Google data sets. There are websites which are dedicated for free data sets, good free data sets. We usually get the data sets from there and load it onto the Google Collaboratory and do the work on it. So once we have the data set, so the data set now is a restaurant tips data and tips data. So we know the tip, right? After in a restaurant, we are going to give the tip after the bill. So this data set would look. So first, let's understand this data set. So it has around 7 columns. So you can see the 7 columns. So there are like 244 customers details here. Data set is a very small data set. So when you're doing the analysis and all, you're going to handle data sets which have like 10 lakhs observations, 5 lakh observations, 1 lakh observations, bigger data sets in real time. So here we have 244 rows and 7 columns. So total bill is 1 column. We have bill is in dollars here. Usually, if you get the data sets from Kaggle, you have data description there available too. So total bill, how much tip is given based on the total bill. If that particular customer's gender, like whether female or male, if that particular customer was a smoker or a non-smoker, which day it was he went to the restaurant, time of the like which time he went, like dinner time or lunch time, and how much, like how many people went in that particular group of two, group of three. So this is the data set which is available. This data is easy to understand because very straightforward everyday use case. Usually in real time, you get a data set. First step is to understand the data itself, what each column is, what are the units available there. So, so like in the sense like you get the, can I get the WhatsApp link in the sense for the Google Collaboratory? Option. You want me to send the Google Collaboratory notebook link or so? Uh, like once we understand the data, sometimes we don't have expertise in that particular field, then we have to sit with the domain experts and understand each column. Like before without understanding the data, we don't uh, go for it. So then viewing specific data using head and tail function. So there are a lot of ready-made functions we can use for analysis here. So if you have very bigger data sets like lakhs of rows and columns, so then if you have the whole data set loaded, the problem is like you have to keep scrolling up and down. What we do is directly with the Google Collaboratory, we have this facility like you don't see all the rows, you see first five and last five. But there's a specific function called head function. What it does is if you want to print only the first 5 rows of a data frame, then the syntax is you have to, we have named the data set already as tips here. So I'm using sometimes coming a different terminology which you would have heard for the first time. You can for now ignore it. Don't worry about it. You're going to learn everything. So the syntax is very simple. Data frame we call it, like the table we have it here in Python terminology. So Python is a programming language. So we are learning a machine language here. So as if we learn a different human language also, we have different words for different terminology there. So this is like table for us. So in Python language, just understand that like we call it like a data frame. So the data frame name what I've given is tips here. So I'll just use tips, the syntax dot head. If I use this head function, by default, it would show me only the first five rows. So if I specifically want to see like only first three rows, so this is very much useful because we are going to do a lot of changes when we are doing the data pre-processing and all. After making the changes, you want to see how the data has changed. We usually use this function to display the first four rows or five rows if you're interested, 10 rows, to see only the particular 10 rows. And default, you see like, the numbering always starts from zero here. So the default, it doesn't start from one, it starts from zero. We call them index numbers. So if I want to see only first four, then I'll just change to four. So likewise, if I want to see how the last few rows are, there's a function called tail function. So the function's task of this tail function is to display last few rows. By default, it will again display five rows. So the last five customer details, we got it here. So if you want to specifically want to see only three, we can give an input three here. So very easy to use these functions, right? So there are like why Python is famous because there are a lot of ready-made functions which makes our job easy. So that you can concentrate on data analysis, you can concentrate on learning machine learning modeling more than concentrating on syntaxes. So and then if you want to know what like total number of rows and columns details, if I want to delete a code cell, you can see on the right side, you can click on the delete here. So tips is the data frame name dot. If you use this keyword shape, so it would show you like how many rows and columns are there. So now it might feel like, for shape, I'm not using this brackets after it. For tail, I'm using brackets after this. All of these things we kind of get used to little like once we start learning and practicing. So shape is actually not a function, it's a keyword. So you don't give brackets. So without brackets, it would give the output here. So there's a columns keyword also. If you have a data frame with 20, 30 columns, you want to see only the column names in the output. So there's a ready-made keyword called columns. You just type in, it would give you the column names. So these are the column names we had: total bill, tip, smoker, day, time, size, so on. So, and then if you remember from schools, we had calculated the average value, standard deviation values. If you forgot like what exactly standard deviation is, don't worry. We have statistics lessons where you understand all this. So here, once you uh, yeah. So if you want to get the descriptive statistics of a data, like you want to see if you have a particular classroom score for seventh standard, you have scores for that particular classroom. Eighth standard, you have score. You want to see what is the minimum value and the maximum value, what is the average score of that particular classroom. You can use this describe function. For all numerical values, at once you are going to get the descriptive statistics. Like you're going to see what is the count. Total, there are 244 customers. The count was 244. The average total bill made for that particular restaurant was 19.78. See how quick the data analysis part is with pandas, like a lot of ready-made functions are at hand. So, like when you do the data analysis, maybe it's not like all these functions are commonly used, whatever we have used here, shape, columns, describe. So regularly we use them, but here what's my agenda for showing you directly the data analysis part is. So when you're doing data analysis using Python programming, this is how it looks like. You have functions. If the functions are not there, we have to create our own user-defined functions. What is the syntax for that? We'll be learning it. But most of the ready-made functions are like readily available, which we can use them, and you don't have to memorize anything. Important things we kind of get used to. I don't suggest remembering or memorizing things in the whole like it's a long process. So always get the concepts. So syntaxes and all, you with practice you get used to them. So when you apply describe function, you can see directly the standard deviation. So standard deviation, uh, I'll give you a quick, like not going to very deep. So if you get standard deviation in the sense, we know the average value, right? Mean and average is nothing but all the values summation divided by the total count. You are going to get the average value. Standard deviation is nothing but when you get a standard deviation value, intuitively what you know is, for suppose you have a classroom of students getting marks between 70 to 90. There's one more classroom of students who are getting marks between 40 to 99. So you see the range is more here, right? The deviation from average value is more, average value is more on this case. So when the standard deviation is high, it talks about how bigger the range of values it is. So for suppose there are heights of classroom are between 5 feet to 6 feet. For some reason, in a particular classroom, the heights are between 5'11" and 6'2". Then we know, like, standard deviation for this will be higher compared to this. So when you directly see a standard deviation for two different groups, you understand that all these values are stacked up together when the standard deviation is lesser. How to calculate it? Uh, what is like we are going to use the standard deviation a lot for the understanding the math of machine learning modeling. How important the standard deviation going to be, we'll discuss it again. So for now, by using this describe function, you can directly calculate the standard deviation, the median value, which is the middle value. So 25 percentile, 75 percentile are the values. I think I'm deviating, but it's okay. Yeah. So 3, 4, 5. So this is nothing but the 50 percentile value. So if you're talking about 25 percentile is from the first value to 50 percentile, the middle value will become 25 percentile value. And from the third 50 percentile to the last value, the middle value will become the 75 percentile value. When you know these values, you actually know how the data is spread over. And even we can plot them too. So we'll learn that. So all these descriptive statistics, minimum, maximum, we know it. We get it using describe function. So you can even know like the tip, average tip was $3 around. The minimum tip was $1, maximum was $10. Someone has given $10 in the for that particular restaurant. Even directly using ready-made functions like mean, standard deviation only. Okay, okay, it's a okay. Okay, sorry. The mistake what I've done is I directly gave the column name. So if I want to select a particular column, I have to give the column name inside the brackets. I have to follow the syntax. I got the error saying categorical, like the that doesn't exist there. So the data frame name, square brackets, give the column name. It would then select only that particular column. So to select only one particular column from the data set, this is the syntax we use it. Then on this, I want to check the average value of the total bill. So, so whatever we have seen in here, 19.78, you can separately calculate it. So you can even get the standard deviation value. So separate functions are also available, but yeah, descriptive statistics completely we can get it using the describe function. So we'll discuss all of that again, once again in the real classes, actual classes. Yeah. So in filtering rows in a data frame. So if you have bigger data sets, you want to filter like if there are students and then you want to filter out students who got particularly marks between only 60 to 70. Then you can filter out those data points here. So again, data set names, and I'm applying the so if I want to select only this tips column, I have to use the syntax tips here. I think the column name is tip, not tips. So this is case sensitive. So tip. And here, if I want to get only the customers who have given bill more than five, $5. So the syntax is here. Usually when you use this logic, it would give me like false and true. So with 244 customers to completely go through each and every value and check what are the true values here, it would be tedious. So the syntax here is you take this condition, you put it in the syntax, like you give the column name again, you put in the syntax here. It would give you the filtered customer details who have given bill more than $5. So you would see like tip, every value will be more than 5. So these things are very useful for data analysis. The filtering, like use the filtering. So just by filtering, like and you now you use the combination of shape, it would give you after filtered how many customers are there. Without counting, after filtering, the from 244 customers in total, then there are 18 customers who have given tip greater than 5. See, likewise, just learning like 4 or 5 different functions, you can combine them and use it for data analysis. So now I'll leave this for you after the class. Filter by smoker. Filter the customers who are only like who are smoking. Like if you want to check uh, on the smoker column, so we have a ready-made function called value counts, which gives you the count of categories. There are two categories. The customers who are smoking were 151 and the customers who are not smoking were 93. So you can get these details using value counts function. Again, sort values. So you can sort the values using sort values function here. So I want you to try the sort values function. Try to find the syntax on the tips data set, sort the values in uh, ascending order for the tips. Like total bill has to be from smaller number to bigger number. Try this activity on the data, like you will be having this collaborate. Try this getting filtering the smokers, like make a separate list of customers who are only smoking. Like all this 151 should be a separate group. So sort values, again, sorting them in ascending descending order. It's a ready-made function. I'll quickly show it to you how to create a scatter plot and count plot. So if you want to create a scatter plot in the sense you want uh, on x-axis we are taking the total bill, on y-axis we are taking the tip to see like if there is any relationship between both. Directly when you use this plt.scatter, plt is nothing but the nickname we have given for that visualization library matplotlib. So you can directly see like as in the total bill is increasing on the x-axis, you can even given like the label directly for the x-axis. So on x-axis we have total bill. So you might wonder like when I'm writing here why I'm actually giving quotations and all. So you would know the reasons when we start learning from basics. So on y-axis I'm having like tips. So I'm giving some labels to it. So tips and total bill. So as the total bill increasing, tips are also increasing. There's a general scenario, right? As we increase the total, like depending on the total bill, we kind of generate the tips here, right? So very easy to create the plots also. Then the analysis part depends on our skills. Like if you see the plot, how to create a plot from the syntax, we'll learn it here. But then we'll practice on few things. But again, how to analyze this? Like this is a very simple 2D plot where you have tips and total bill. As in the total bill increasing, the tips are also increasing. And the maximum total bill is kind of here like $50 and the tip was given like $10. Just by the scatter plot, we know it. Likewise, if you want to do the line plot, we have different function like line plot. If you want to count on the day, like there's a count from Seaborn, we are using this count plot. So this here figure size is to change the size of the figure. Like we want to change the size, you use this fixed size function here. So I've used only tips the day column. So just by seeing this data, we can draw insights like this restaurant is only open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, only 4 days. That too, the customers count is more on Saturday. So we can draw insights. That's what we expect from the data set. You after cleaning, after doing the data analysis, you should be drawing insights and you should be making the list of insights for the company, making like the most of the customers going to that particular restaurant are on Saturday and then Sunday and Friday they have some for some reason Friday the count of customers going in but this is not universal facts again. These facts are drawn for that particular data set. So like we'll keep this thing aside for today. Like we are going to anyways learn them. If you are interested, you can the codes are available. You can run it from your end and get amazed to see like what is this high plot, why data profiling and pair plot. So we have theory and the activities put on. For now, we'll stop it here, this data analysis on tips data set. What I want you to get it from this past 20 minutes is that it's doable and it's very interesting to do the data analysis. It's like a detective job. But again, it's messy. If you don't like messy data, sometimes it's frustrating. Like we don't find the insights as quick as possible. Like I mean, it's not like very straightforward. It's like a very ups and downs. So, and with every data set, it's like a new story unfolding. So every day it would be newer with this data analysis. So very interesting to learn. And I feel like, every role possible, like analyst, even the managers, everybody should learn data analysis. So let me come back to the slides. I'll stop it here with this. Let me share back the screen. Okay. So tomorrow, what we are going to do actually is we'll see, like we have seen data analysis today, right? Tomorrow, quickly, don't get panicked much. It's also easy to understand. If you have understand today the data analysis, I'll show you like end-to-end workflow of a machine learning model, how the evaluation and machine learning modeling is done on a data set. So very simple, like in 20 minutes, I'll show you like quickly the codes, how it look like when I say you are doing one machine learning model, how it looks like on a Google Colab, mini project structure. And we'll also discuss something interesting, like, what's behind tools like ChatGPT. I didn't put it on purpose on the first day because it would be overloaded there. We'll discuss like what's behind tools like ChatGPT. Not again very deeper things, like we'll take up to the level like you understand as a beginner. Then, if possible, we'll start with lesson one tomorrow itself. So we'll be starting lesson one programming language of Python, like you have seen this class copy, right? So we'll start with introduction to Python, basic arithmetic operations, variables, and data types. If time is not there, we'll continue that on February 6th. So once we start this lesson one, it would be covering the curriculum. Like we'll be going from basics of Python and we'll be reaching to the staircase. Like you have seen yeah, I think I don't have it here. Okay. Yeah, this one. So we'll be starting with Python, libraries, visualization tools, SQL. SQL, you'll be getting the recorded videos, then the analysis. So the snippet, like the data analysis we have done today, machine learning, then the projects building, deep learning will be reaching here. It's interesting and enjoyable. And again, to be honest, like you have to put in the effort also. It's not like uh, it's doable, not like it's very tough, but again, lot of things here, and very interesting to know like how machines are actually learning all these things to understand that. So again, so I've shared like the course curriculum. I'll be sharing the document maybe tomorrow in the Word document in the group, the WhatsApp group. And the skills you acquire, we have seen yesterday. What this course offers you, again, you're learning from absolute basics. So if you didn't do Python, you didn't know any programming language anytime, so you'll be able to get it from there. Learn from absolute basics, and I feel like this course. So you might ask, like, so much content available. Why this particular course? I always say, like, my lookup is to this lesson plans. So this lesson plans are structured, so where it kind of gives you a lot of confidence, where you don't have to juggle with the files and all. So the way you work on it, it kind of gives in like you get the codes. Even you have this activities and everything structured in such a way, like it will give you that small dopamine energies, like as if like we are solving school assignments. So nothing to be stressed much while for taking notes and all. So this course is structured, so I can say that. So again, Monday to Friday. So we are going to have lessons, and I expect we are going to reach to a point where we would be pulling up the projects into the GitHub, building a resume, and I'll be helping you with the interview preparation after finishing the theoretical classes. So if you're upskilling and trying to apply for the jobs, I feel that step would be really helpful to put in the projects in the GitHub and making a profile for yourself. So thank you so much. I hope to see you again tomorrow. And if you have questions, yeah, stay back. I'll be taking up the questions now. And yeah, can I get WhatsApp link, the WhatsApp group link? I'm not sure, like I have the link now. Can you contact the admin team once to get the link? Let me see if I can get it. So the WhatsApp group. mm, I'll uh, I'll send you a admin contact here. Maybe you can contact directly for getting. Yeah, I'll be sharing the contact number of the admin team. You can ask for the links. So this is a contact of admin team here. So how expert do we need to be in math? So it's not new mathematics we are going to study here. It's all 11th or 12th standard math level we are going to discuss. So maybe if you know like what is slope, what is intercept, differentiation. So we are not mathematically, we'll understand the model, but we don't do any mathematical equation solvation. It would be very difficult because we are going to use the direct Python modules to solve the problems. But when you understand machine learning model, we are going to understand the math level there. Nothing we solve on paper, but it's the theoretical understanding. If I say slope, intercept, standard deviation, intuitively to understand if for two different groups standard deviation value is given, you should be understand why this group has standard deviation value low, this group has high. Such intuitive knowledge of mathematical concept. When you have slope value bigger, what does it actually mean when you have a bigger slope? Such concepts we are going to discuss, not like the formulas you have to remember, the equations we solve in schools, not that type of math. Yeah. So same question for me also about matrix. So we'll, okay, math. Yeah. So 11th and 12th standard, I can say. Any other questions?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Think so.
Bye bye.